I'm Corbett Wall with DV Auction, here with 3 minutes of early week cattle markets for your Wednesday, May the 13th. Feeder cattle markets started out quite a bit higher early this week, with your Southern Plains big volume market selling firm to $3 higher. Calves were steady to $5 higher, where they had enough of them to really tell. But it was really wet in that part of the country. Oklahoma City only had around 4,000 head of feeder cattle, and it's just so wet out in the country they can't get those cattle in. That'll be getting a lot more graze out wheat cattle this week on a normal type year, but it's just so wet from all those big storms they had, and making those farmers nervous too, because their cattle are out there just stomping what's left of that wheat out. And even though they wasn't going to make a crop out of it, they probably could make some hay or something out of it, and then really making a mess out there. But they're still glad to get the moisture. Up in the northern plains, some of those big yearling feeders were sharply higher, like in Sioux Falls Regional there. Even some cattle weighing 800 and 900 pounds up in there we're up to $10, $12 higher. So really good market to start out the week on your feeder cattle. Down the southeast, your calves were very volatile to start out the week. I mean, from dollars and dollars higher to that much lower, and just depended on where the orders were coming in from, because out west where those cattle are going had those big storms and all that rain. Those lots are muddy, and they just haven't been sending a lot of orders into the southeast. But in places where they have local demand or cattle going somewhere else, still pretty good. Your real-time index put together by Cattle Market Central there, which kind of predicts your CME index, was up big this week, early week, gaining $3 or $4 there. Tuesday's afternoon close around 214.25. So we expect that CME index to be higher again middle of the week. The Joplin Regional Stockyards on Monday, they had 2 loads of big steers, weighed 873, bring 201.50. You see there on Cattle Market Central. And in Boonville, at the Missouri Valley Commission Company, they had a load of steers weighed 674, bring 221.25. But even though it was wet last week, corn planting made some more gains there. 75% planted across the nation. Iowa's 83% planted now. Indiana and Ohio, that eastern corn belt's ones running behind there. They're just in the 50 percentile there. Box beef had some early week gains. Choice is now up on Tuesday's close near 261. Slaughter's about on pace for this week, about like last week. It'll be around 565 to 570. Fat's slow, of course, this week. Did have a few sales in Kansas there at 158. Last week's weighted averages were around 162. There was some rumors of some cattle that sold for 160, but that'd be for June delivery. That's the markets for this week at Wednesday. We'll talk to you Friday.